Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Emery's Memories channel. I'm your announcer, Gary Beatty. This channel was created to feature interviews by Ralph Emery. There are over 125 interviews by Ralph for you to enjoy on this channel. This channel has also become a collection point for rare and, in some cases, never-before-seen shows and interviews. What you're about to see is one of 14 classic interviews hosted by the LeGarde Twins from Sydney, Australia. It's part of a TV series they created, and it's called Down Home, Down Under. Now, these interviews have remained in their private collection, and they've never aired on radio or television until now. So here's their one-on-one interview with Tammy Wynette.
Welcome back to LeGarde Twins Down Home, Down Under. Now here's my brother Tom to tell you about our very special guest.
What is true of how she sounds is also true of what her songs say and how they say it. The themes of struggle and loss, heartbreak, and sometimes triumph in everyday life makes her the great artist she is today.
That's right, Tom. Born in humble beginnings in Tupelo, Mississippi, she's accomplished much throughout the world. Ask anyone what country music is all about, and likely as not, divorce and stand by your man will crop up early in the response. She's our very, very special guest, the First Lady of Country Music, the one and only Tammy Wynette. Tammy, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
By the time this goes to air, you'll be ready and you'll be crossing the great pond, the Pacific, and heading down under.
That I will. Yes, it's coming up very, very shortly, and I'm real excited about it because I've never been. Now, see, we can take this show. You guys can tell me what it's all like and what it's all about.
Well, we won't tell you much about it because, you know, then it wouldn't be a surprise.
No.
But first of all, you don't have any language barriers.
Oh, no language
We,
barriers,
you know,
okay.
they say that the Australians and the Americans both speak the English language, but they said that
You
we
folks
know-
have an accent.
have a bit of
Oh, is that the way it is?
Hey.
No, I was talking to someone yesterday in Australia, and it was 90 degrees. I could not believe that in the middle of our winter, you know. So I'm going to take a lot of bikinis and a lot of shorts, and that's going to be it.
very wise.
Now, not to work in.
You're going to be talking to George Richie,
Uh-huh.
and I told him that you're going to be opening at Seagulls,
Yes.
and that's on the Gulf Coast, and it is absolutely beautiful.
Hey, Tammy,
Oh,
I don't want to be facetious or presumptuous, but you're married to George Richie,
Right?
and prior to that, you're married to George Jones. I
You
mean,
must love George's, eh?
The Georges, huh?
we had our oldest brother was named George, and
Well, I can promise you, this George is a total turnaround from the other George, and I'll leave it at that.
well, things seem to be really going great for you, don't they?
They are. My career is wonderful. I've been with Epic CBS for 23 years. I'm working, doing the thing that makes me happy. I have 4 grandchildren now, and Richie and I are very happy, and we've been married now 12 years. So,
Tammy,
It's
where
wonderful.
did your career really start? I mean,
when did it start?
yes, when did it start?
I left Mississippi and moved to Birmingham, Alabama in 1965, the early part of '65, and was a hairdresser and started working in a beauty shop there. And the local television station had a country show that came on similar to, not as good as, but similar to the Ralph Emery show, you know, that comes on from like 6 to 7.
Right.
It came on from 6 to 7 every morning. And I noticed they didn't have a girl singer, so my uncle just happened to be chief engineer at the station. So I asked him one day, I said, why don't they have a female on there? And he said, I don't know. I said, well, ask him if I can be on. So he did, and I got on, and I worked for a year there. And the name was Country Boy Eddie's Show. And he kept telling me that I shouldn't be in Birmingham, that I should go to Nashville, and kept encouraging me. And I think that was the little push, the little nudge that I needed, the support behind me to tell me to you know, go on and try it.
Did you come to Nashville by yourself?
I came to Nashville by myself. Well, no, 3 children.
Oh.
Age 4, 3, and 14 months.
God bless.
Divorced with 3 children.
What a tough lady you were, and what a brave
Well,
lady.
I don't know if it was tough and brave. Probably stupidity and ignorance enters in there someplace. You know, I just didn't know that I couldn't do it, you know.
They say-
you don't think about things like that.
They say youth knows no bounds. Do you agree?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I could be asked to do the same things, driving and things like that, and taking small children with me now, that I was asked to do back then, and I'd probably go, you've got to be crazy, you know.
But you still have the same enthusiasm, don't you, for the business? I mean, to get out and
I
perform.
love the business. I guess I like recording is my favorite part of the business. I like the personal appearances.
Yeah.
But the recording that's new. You go in and do something new all the time, and you're creating something that you hope the people will like. On your concerts, though it's thrilling to hear that applause and be there, it's the same thing almost every night, because you can't get by without doing, you know, the things that people expect to hear from you.
Your classic-
Yes, it's
that-
thrilling.
The classic song, Stand By Your Man, when you recorded that and you heard the playback, did you really feel that it was going to become as big as
I
it has
hated
become?
it.
You did?
I hated that song. I did not want it to be released. I begged Billy
What'd you hate?
Sherrill not to release
Oh,
it.
is that
Thank
right?
God he didn't listen to me, you know. But
Right.
well, I had done kid things, you know. I don't want to play house, divorce, you know, and those type things. And it was a total departure as far as I was concerned, melody-wise and lyric-wise, from what I had been doing, because I had been so used to doing something else. And I was still new, fairly new to the business, and we wrote that song in about 20 minutes. It was so easy to write.
You co-wrote it?
Billy and I wrote the song together, and I did not want the song released.
Aren't you
but,
glad you listened to him?
Gosh, yes. Every time I hear the song, or every time somebody mentions it, I think, oh, thank God, you know, I let Billy Sherrill do his job.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Analyzing your career, and you know, there are stars in our business, and then there are superstars. And for instance, if somebody walked in and said, well, you know, what makes a superstar? I've given it some thought, because number one, you were not only unique and a song stylist, and you were a hit maker, then you had controversiality, because you married an outlaw, George Jones, and then Burt Reynolds fell in love with you, and of course you were in every tabloid, and pretty soon the name Tammy Wynette became a worldwide household name. Did that please you when all this
Well,
happened?
I think I just accepted it. I don't think that it really, you know, pleased me. I just really accepted the fact that I was in all the tabloids and everything. I was happy that they were writing about me. Some of the things that they wrote weren't true. Some were. But I think I had gotten to the point to where I accepted the fact that I had no control over what people wrote, and I was very proud that they cared enough about me to write about me. Yes, that did make me feel very good.
Tammy, when you go back to Tupelo, do you go back often to Tupelo, Mississippi?
Well, it's 30 miles north of Tupelo, and it's out on a farm, and I go back 3 or 4 times a year.
And
We still own the old farm, and I go back and go through the old house where I was born, and
what do you?
and
I mean, what
reminisce.
feelings do you get when you go back and you walk through as a little girl and you reminisce? What does it feel like, Tammy?
Well, when I look at the cotton fields, my back aches, but I go through thinking how horrible this was when I was a kid, when I was growing up, so I thought. But how I wish my children could have had that sort of upbringing, how I wish they could have been raised the way I was, because it was wonderful. It was just a very simple life.
Were your parents strict with you?
Oh, very strict. My dad died when I was 9 months old, so my mom and I moved in with her mother and father, so I had 2 sets. You know, I had mother who turned me over to her mom and dad, and they were mama and daddy, and she was like an older sister, you know, and she would tell on me. And she had 1 sister, so there was the 3 of us, and that was it. And they were very strict. I couldn't wear shorts. I was on the basketball team, and I was the only one that had to wear blue jeans. And I took the suit home to Daddy one day, and I said, please, please, let me wear shorts like all the other girls. And he looked at him, and he said, he called my mama, and Flora, and he said, Flora, put elastic in the legs of those pants. So I'm still different, you know.
Were you a cheeky mug? Now, cheeky mug in Australia means a brat.
Cheeky.
Were you a brat?
I don't really think so, no.
You were a good girl?
I think I would have to say I was a pretty good girl. I did the normal things. I would steal a watermelon out of somebody's patch, you know, with a gang, but that was about the extent of it. You know, there was no drugs, there was no alcohol, everything was bootlegged where I lived. It was dry, the state was dry, the counties were dry. There was not a whole lot you could get into. Riding in the car with a guy, and if the front porch light came on, I had to go in when that happened.
Hey,
So,
Tammy, we're going to take a break.
okay.
We've been talking with our very special guest, First Lady of Country Music, Tammy Wynette. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with Tammy Wynette, so don't go away.
We're talking with our very special guest, the First Lady of Country Music, Tammy Wynette. Tammy, when you rose from, because apparently where you were raised from poverty and all the fame and fortune came into your life, how did you handle it? Did you handle it well? You think?
I believe I did. I think I still do. I have never taken this business for granted. And it only takes one trip home to get my feet back on the ground. You know, if I get to feeling a little too big for my britches, as Mama would say, I can go home and see where it all started and where I came from and the humble beginnings. And I've always despised the fact that some artists, when they get to a certain point, they think, oh, well, I'm above that person or that person. I've never felt that way. I feel that I'm an average woman. I have a different job. I have the same feelings any woman has, whether she works in a bank, a shoe factory, a waitress, a barmaid, or whatever. I feel the same way she feels. We just have different jobs. So we're all women. So, and I think, you know, that I've handled that well, and I don't like the feeling of someone thinking that they're above somebody else.
You made a statement once I thought was really nice. You said, people know my name, Tammy Wynette, but they don't know my heart. Would you like to share some of that with us?
Well, I think most people, and especially in our business, and a lot of my fans that haven't met me and don't know me think that first of all, that I'm a very sad person because of the sad songs that I sing. And I'm not. And they don't know, you know, they know what they see, but they don't know the inside. You know, they don't know how much it means to me for one of my grandkids to call and say, Mama, would you do this and would you do that? And my heart just, you know, gets this big, swells this big. And they really don't know how I feel. They know only what they see from stage, and I think that's bad for them, because I had rather that they wouldn't read or know only what they read. I would like for there to be some way, you know, that they would know more, that a way that you could reach deeper down and get what a person really feels like.
I'm sure they do. You know, Tammy, you have such your recordings have such a sincerity. You can feel the sincerity, the tenderness in your voice. God has really blessed you with some good vocal cords. You've been very fortunate to know.
God has been wonderful to me. He didn't make me the best. He just made me the loudest.
There are no perfect, flawless people, right? Hey, when Georgette, that's your daughter, right?
Yes.
Got married.
Yes.
And you were pretty upset when No-Show Jones didn't show up, weren't you?
Yes. Well, I was upset, not for me, because we've been divorced for 15 years, and I wasn't expecting to see him, nor necessarily wanting to see him, but I wanted him to give her away because she wanted him to give her away. But when that didn't happen, I was relieved in one sense, because George Richie has been really the only father, and we talked about this last Sunday, 3 of the girls and I. He has really been the only father that my girls have known. My first marriage, which produced 3 daughters, they never see their father, and he doesn't play any role in their life. And Richie does, and is very important to them, and they're very important to him. He makes no difference between my children and his.
So George Richie, your present husband, gave Georgette?
He gave Georgette away, and I
Beautiful.
was very happy with that, and she was very happy with that.
Now, he's guided your career tremendously. You're not only a great and a very famous record producer, but apparently a good husband and a good manager to Tammy Wynette. And that's
Yes.
important, isn't it?
It's very important, yes. I think a lot of people say that husband and wife team won't make it when either or is the artist and the other is the manager, you know. But it's different in our situation. It's not that he was thrown into this.
No, he
like
knows the
overnight.
business. He knew the business, right?
Yes, right. He knew the business, and that worked out well.
And that was a blessing for you, too.
Wow.
We're talking with our very special guest, the First Lady of Country Music, Tammy Wynette. So don't go away, because we're going to be right back with Tammy.
We're talking with the First Lady of Country Music, our very special guest, Tammy Wynette. Tammy, I know you said that you're getting excited about going down under, and of course, are you going to fly direct from Nashville to Sydney?
No,
or are you
I'm
gonna-
flying from Florida to, gosh, I've forgotten where we change, and then to Honolulu.
Oh,
We're
you're
going
gonna
to
spend-
split the trip up and spend the night there, so it won't be so long. Then the next day go
See,
on.
that's where a good manager comes in. See, George was smart enough to
Yes.
know that, because you lose a
Yes,
day,
right.
and you spend a night in Honolulu, you'll arrive in Sydney feeling fresh, you see.
That will help.
We
yes.
know your schedule, incidentally. You're going to be playing...
Schedule.
Schedule. It's Tullamore, Seymour, Liz, Mamalula, Nam, Bombaruchidor, Kilmamulamba, Birdsville,
No.
Wallaval, Kalamala. You're going to be playing all those towns, Tammy.
Oh, I am.
Aren't they? Isn't that exciting?
It is. Am I going to see some Aborigines?
Yes.
I hope so.
Oh, I will.
You'll have to have them take you to the Outback. Did you
Oh,
see
yeah.
Crocodile Dundee?
Yes, I did.
Did you
yes,
like
I
it?
did.
You're
Yes,
gonna
I loved it.
And Sydney, you're going to love Sydney because it's a really cosmopolitan city, very international. So is Melbourne, Brisbane, Adelaide, and Perth. Perth is the loneliest city in the world.
It is?
That's where they held the America's Cup, you know.
Oh, yes.
And when,
What are
It
the...
says very beautiful there. Perth. I mean,
Western-
from one city to the other, but
What are some
I
of the
understand
things...
It's all beautiful.
What are some of the things that you plan to do while you're in
Just
Australia?
look. I think I'm going to be all eyes. I would love to fish some because I love to fish. But I don't know, you know, what my schedule will permit. I don't know how much time I'll have from traveling from one city to the next.
Well, we hope you get
But
up...
sunbathe a whole lot. Get a lot of sun and perhaps fish and just sightsee. I want to do a lot of sightseeing.
We hope you get up to the Great Barrier Reef, which is really a landmark of the world, you know. Finest snorkeling and scuba diving in the world there.
Oh,
Yeah, the Great Barrier Reef.
and where is that now?
That's in Queensland,
Oh, in
northern part of
Queensland.
Queensland, yeah.
Okay.
I believe you'll be
I'll
going
have to remember that.
you might be, if you're going to Brisbane, that's the capital of Queensland. So if you go there, you'll be in our home
now,
state.
I'm asking you the questions.
Let's
This
go
has
ahead.
turned into
Go
my
ahead.
interview.
That's
but
good.
No, it's a-
what's the food like?
Terrific.
How different
We got
is it?
wallaby
you know?
stew and kangaroo tail. No, I'm only kidding. You got all the kind of same good food.
No, we have-
Fabulous food.
Really do. We have some fine restaurants down there. You're going to love it. Australia's a very fresh,
What's
young
a typical
country.
dish for Australia, so I'll know before
Well,
I go?
we eat a lot of steak. You like steaks?
Yes.
Fish,
Yes, I love fish.
lobster.
Love lobster.
What about oysters?
Fried?
Fried?
Not on the half shell. That's what I'll pass
Oh,
on.
you won't. The only thing that they can't make down there, I don't know whether it's a beef, they cannot duplicate the American hamburger.
Oh, and
But
I
you
bet
won't
they
miss-
don't have pinto beans and cornbread either, do
Well,
they?
you can make some on the tour, you know, just make it up as you go along. Tammy, on your return visit from Australia, what's on the front burner for Tammy Wynette?
Well, when I first get back from Australia, I fly into L.A. because I'm working the Roxy in L.A. theater, and a couple more cities, San Francisco, and one city in Tempe, Arizona, I believe. And then I go back to Florida for a couple of days, and then come home, and I'm be recording my 52nd album with CBS Records, so I'm excited and
are you-
anxious.
Have you got a title to it yet? For it yet?
No, I don't. We're just now choosing the material. I don't know, have any idea what it will be called.
Who selects your material, Tammy?
Bob Montgomery and I are together listening to material, and he has called all the writers, or writers, period, in Nashville and said, Tammy's recording, you know, bring me what you have. So I hope to be able to go around to some of the people that have been writing for me in the past when I get back, and get some things.
Tammy, Oprah Winfrey made a statement just recently. I thought it was beautiful. She said, "The future looks so bright, it almost burns my eyes." Does it look bright for you?
Yeah, it does look bright. Looks very bright. I'm just very thrilled and excited that I have been with the same label for so many years, and I'm still with them, and I'm getting the chance to do another album. And I have to tell you one thing about Oprah. Oprah and I were born not too far apart, because she's a Mississippi girl. And then she came to Nashville and was in Nashville for a while, before going on to become the success she is now. I sent her a telegram not too long ago, and I told her how proud I was of her for all the things that she had accomplished. And at the end, I told her, I said, "We ain't done too bad for a couple of good old girls."
Well, Tammy,
You look so happy and so vivacious. I know things must be going so right for you, and
Things
that's
are
good.
wonderful.
thank you for taking time out to be on Down
Oh,
Home, Down Under.
You're a
Happy
beautiful,
to.
beautiful
Thank
lady.
you so
and
much.
And I can understand why they
Thank you,
call you
Jimmy.
the
Thank you
first lady
so
of country
much.
music. Just
That's very nice. Thank you.
a
I
lovely
appreciate
lady.
it.
We've been talking with our very special guest, First Lady of Country Music, Tammy Wynette.
What a great classic one-on-one interview with Ted and Tom, the LeGarde Twins. I want to tell you about their book, The LeGarde Twins, Showbiz Hustlers. Let me take you back to the beginning. These twin boys walked 15 miles across the bushlands of Australia to a tent with a dirt floor and folding chairs. As the projector started up, the movie appeared in black and white on the screen, and there for the first time, they saw Hop-Along Cassidy. They ran almost all the way home and told their mom, "We're going to become cowboy singers." Let me read the introduction to Showbiz Hustlers. Being raised in the bushlands of Australia in the 1930s and 40s was a rough and hard life. We didn't think about it back then because that's how life was. You have to live the hard life to understand it. But we also made a picture in our minds of the kind of life we wanted to lead, and it became a beacon that has guided us on our long journey in show business. We hope and pray that our book falls into the hands of our fellow strugglers and dreamers to give them unfailing encouragement to pursue their hopes and dreams. Above all else, we want to give God all the praise and glory for our long lives and for His mercy and grace in dealing with us throughout the years. So grab the reins and ride over 1 million miles with us from the bushlands of Australia across 7 continents through 23 countries and 45 of the 50 states in America. Let's ride. Ted and Tom LeGarde. They appeared in Vegas, movies, and TV shows. And for you Trekkies out there, get this. This book is packed with pictures and stories and is a must-read. We'll put a link below the video so you can get your copy of The LeGarde Twins, Showbiz Hustlers. The LeGarde Twins, Showbiz Hustlers makes a great gift. This book is about twin brothers from Australia who had a dream, and it came true. This is Gary Beatty, and as Ted and Tom LeGarde would say, "G'day, mate."